Hello, everyone. My name is Alee Attoe. I'm a coach and instructor with Best Life Creation Society, and I'm here to you. It's just see you on this beautiful, beautiful winter morning. This isn't my usual time. I apologize. I have not had my regularly scheduled Facebook Live for the last couple of weeks. And that's mostly due to the weather. We've had some really incredible storms that disrupted my kids' school schedule and work schedule. And it's all perfect because I got to spend more time with my family and just get to be, cozy and snuggled into my house. So I'm just joining today when I can. Hi, Dave. Nice to see you. And I've got some really fun stuff that I'm excited to share with you guys today. So again, my name is Alee. I'm a coach and instructor with Best Life Creation Society. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you. And what we do at Best Life is we are a group of people who are really growing together in a beautiful mastermind of how do we stay most connected to our source? How do we become more than we even know that we have inside as a group? And so there's a membership side to Best Life where there are multiple daily calls available so you can be as connected as you like, and lots of support for personal development, for business, for spiritual growth. We have a lot of really beautiful tools that can help people move beautifully and quickly and efficiently into the things that they want. And then another side of Best Life is that we do a lot of great content. We have a Facebook Live almost every single day on this page, our Best Life Creation Society Facebook page. We often have free introductory classes so that you get a taste of what it is that we do and maybe gain some tools that will help you move more towards your goals and dreams. So very, very honored to get to be part of this incredible group. Hi, Scott. Hi, Tammy. Nice to see you guys. So yeah, that's just a little bit about us. And oh, it is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope that you are filled with tons and tons of love and appreciation today for the people in your life, but also for yourself. Don't forget to love yourself today, too. So one of the things I want to talk about today is how to stay focused on the things that you want. And I'm going to back this process up a little bit. If you've been hanging around Best Life for very long, we talk a lot about putting your feelings first. And the reason is that whatever it is that you're feeling, you will generate more circumstances in your life that will bring that feeling back to you. Have you ever noticed, this is like the negative side, have you ever noticed if you're in a bad mood and you're just like in this cloud of grumpiness and it seems like things couldn't get worse and then all of a sudden you stub your toe, right? And it just brings more of that feeling of, oh my gosh, that everything's against me. And sometimes there can be this downward cycle of, oh my gosh, and you start noticing all the things that are wrong, and those things become more apparent to you, which continues to generate that feeling. The other side of that is, if you have a great morning, let's say, you did a meditation and you just feel alive and you feel really light, and you look out the window and you see the sunshine and that makes you feel really great. You're grateful for the planet getting to be alive, and you hear the birds chirp, and then you see a positive post on Facebook, and so you can start having all of these things that when you feel good, it generates more circumstances in your life that will help you feel good. And that's how the law of attraction works. Whatever you're putting out will come back to you. It might not come back to you in ways you expect, but there are ways that the universe will find to help recreate whatever it is your present moment is actually manifesting. So one of the things that we talk about in Best Life is how do we actually, oh, hi Jen, how do we put those feelings first and then figure out what it is that we want? Because sometimes what happens in personal development or in any kind of growth is we think we know what we should want because our culture, our society, our family has said, you should want to make a lot of money, you should want to be fit and thin, you should want to be a morning person. There's all these shoulds out there. But none of those shoulds are really what we want. And if we come from those shoulds in a place of, guilt or shame, or I don't know if I can do that, if it doesn't come from a place of a true desire from within, then we're probably not going to enjoy the journey towards those things very much. Or, we're just going to try and maybe fail. And that doesn't always feel good too. And not because it's, there's anything wrong with failure, but if we're not connected really beautifully and emotionally to what we want, it can be hard to actually move forward in a way that supports that journey and feels really good to us. So we talk about at Best Life, if you can take a step back from everything and think first about what is it that you want to feel. And why is that important? Again, because what you feel in your present moment is what will come to you in your future. So don't worry about the things, the job, the money, the body, the relationship. If you can take a step back behind that and be like, but what is it that I really want to feel? What feeling or feelings do I really want to have? And you might need to just, spend some quiet time with yourself, make a cup of tea, put on some nice music and kind of feel that out, in your solar plexus, in your heart center, in where your inner being, your inmost self is. And then from there, you can ask, and this process is probably familiar if you've been around Best Life for a while, is ask yourself, okay, what things can I do then that help support that feeling? And that's where you start connecting to your true dreams, your true desires, the things that really make you hum, that really make you tick, the things that you came to this planet to do. So let's say you've done this. Okay, you've connected with your feelings, you know what those feelings are, you found a couple things that you want to do. Maybe it is getting in better shape. That can be completely inspired, healthy, and wonderful. But you see, when you know it connects to maybe you want to feel more vibrant, when you know that that's the number one thing to help you feel more vibrant is maybe changing some things in your diet or exercising more, it feels exciting and it feels light and you can feel forward flow and momentum that way instead of the, I should do this, so my doctor says I should, the media says I should. So there's just a big difference in how you move forward. And again, when we're moving forward into things that we like and we want and they feel good, we're going to have more of that come back to us. So let's say that we know this. We know, we can use health, for instance. So we know that I want to feel vibrant. And the thing that I feel like will make me feel most vibrant is cooking more food, more like good quality food at home. And so moving into that process, it means that you're more mindfully looking at every step of the way. So if I'm going to cook better food, for instance, I'm going to look for recipes that when I look at them, they look fun to make, they look joyful to make, I feel resonance with them. I can mindfully pick the vegetables, cook the food, and keeping that feeling of vibrance in mind. Keeping always that feeling of this contributes to me feeling more vibrant. This contributes to me feeling better. But what happens sometimes, because life is life, we can forget, we can get off track, we can get off focus of those one or two things that connect to that feeling. So I'm going to tell you what I've been doing lately that I really, really like for helping to stay kind of on task. But when I say on task, I don't mean that like on task. I mean like in the flow. I mean having focused forward attention on the things that I really want. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm busy. I like being busy. That's something that I wanted. I wanted to get to learn a lot of things and do a lot of things. So I have 2 young kids. I have a wonderful husband who works a lot of long hours, so there's things that have to get juggled there. All good, just part of our incredible story. I've got two businesses, one that's fairly established and needs just more maintenance, and one that's new. I also am on an incredible health journey, and yeah, just bringing more and more growth into my life. So that can be a lot of stuff. And what can happen in all of that is just a focus on getting the daily tasks done to get through the day. So if we know that we want to continue creating certain feelings moving forward, how do we remember to stay focused on that and not get stuck in those daily tasks and start kind of just losing focus and just living day to day instead of living intentionally? So what I like to do, and what I've been doing more, is before I go to bed at night, I try to remember those words. Like, what are those words? What are those feelings that are most important to me right now? So the two that are most important to me right now are vibrance and abundance. Those are two things that I, on a daily basis, just want to be in the flow in and have more and more and more come into my life. So sometimes before I go to bed at night, I'll even just write those words down: vibrance, abundance, and just take a second to remember, yes, these are the feelings I want to feel. Now, the next part is then, how do I incorporate vibrance and abundance into my day tomorrow? How do I make sure that my day tomorrow is creating vibrance and abundance? So then I think about, well, what is the one thing? What is one thing? Let's start there. What is one thing that would make me feel, and you can do this either way, what is one thing that would make me feel most satisfied? Or what is one thing that would make me feel the most vibrant, the most abundant? So you just go with what feels good there. I like thinking about, if I already have vibrance and satisfaction kind of in my thoughts and my energy field, then I know if I think about what's going to be most satisfying tomorrow, that they'll all work together. So what's the one thing I can do tomorrow that will bring me the most satisfaction? And what I like about this is it starts this cycle of, how do I make sure, how do I stay in the flow? How do I stay in focus? And you can also write down, once you do that, okay, I know this one thing, and I feel excited about doing this thing tomorrow. It's going to feel so good. And then if it still feels good to you, you can write down, what are 2 or 3 other things that will also add to my day, that will also add to my satisfaction, or also add to my vibrance, also add to my abundance. And so I'm actually reading a little bit of a book on productivity, and what they found is that, of course, first of all, doing things that are important to you and satisfying to you does bring more productivity into your life. You move towards your goals and dreams faster when you are working towards them in a way that feels good. That's what we've been saying all this time, right? It's always nice to have other sources to see, like, oh yeah, see, this backs it up. And I also say that also, like, if we write these really extensive to-do lists, I don't know about you guys, but I used to be great at the to-do lists with all kinds of points and subpoints, and I'd get really, really detailed. And it was a lot of my mind trying to figure out what I needed to do. And then I'd look at this list and just be already emotionally exhausted and would procrastinate and wouldn't get even half of what was on that list done. But if you do this other way, you don't necessarily have to worry about the details so much. If it feels good to you, write down the details. This is the thing about really tuning into you and what feels good to you. If it feels good to write something very broad, do that. If it feels good to write down something really specific with a lot of details because that feels satisfying and it increases your anticipation of getting to do that task, then do that. And it might be different for different tasks. Sometimes I like leaving things really general because I don't know all the details yet, and I want to get into that state of flow and be partnering with my inner being and source to see how it all comes together. So sometimes I just don't want to plan it that much. But again, sometimes I'm in the flow, and part of the planning it is writing down the details. So it's all about staying in flow. It's all about tuning in and using your emotional guidance system to understand, do I do this or do I do this? What feels good? And this is kind of like just becoming a musician. I know, Dave, you're on here. You can relate. If anyone plays the guitar or plays the cello, I know I play the guitar not very well, but a really great guitarist, a really great musician, they can hear when the note is just a little bit flat or a little bit sharp, right? Maybe a normal ear or an untrained ear couldn't hear it, but a trained ear can hear that. And as we move forward into how do I keep creating more of what I want, part of staying on task and part of staying in the flow towards your goals and dreams is that tuning in, that learning. And it's okay. You know what? I still need a tuner to play the guitar because I don't play very frequently. I have lots of friends who they can just tune by ear. They've really honed that skill to be able to listen to the notes and just make adjustments. So if you're on this part of the journey where it takes you a little longer to figure out what you're feeling, that's 100% okay. You're just learning how to tune your instrument. That's just part of the process. And you take all the time that you need. Don't compare yourself to others. Just enjoy the journey. Just enjoy the journey, and the more that you can, because this can happen too when we're like, okay, I'm learning this new thing and I'm gonna do it. We can create a lot of resistance if we're in a space of like, I have to do this or I need to do this. You know what? You can just even say, you know what? I want to flow into this. I'm going to release all resistance to learning something new. I just want to partner with you, Source. Can you lead me and guide me in the way that's going to be best for me? And that's great too. So as you're moving forward into how do I stay focused on this feeling? How do I make sure I'm doing tasks that are meaningful and feel good and move me forward to my dreams? Is also that, okay, I'm going to tune in to my emotions and I'm going to learn how to listen, whether it's turning left or right or doing this or that or doing specific or broad. And I'm going to partner with the universe in that. I'm going to let the universe help me out. And if you think about the fact that we have infinite intelligence, we have infinite intelligence here to support us, why not tune into that? It's more fun, it's more flowy, things come into your existence faster. I know personally that I'm so much happier when I intentionally tune into Source and my inner being, and I allow that connection and that flow to be in everything in my life. So what you may find too is that when you have these lists, when you're moving forward into what feels good, you might feel more inspiration to do something a way you maybe wouldn't have thought of. To look at a certain website, or even, to go meet someone you never thought would be a good person to meet. And I would say that the more, again, this is about tuning that instrument, the more that you listen to that, the more you'll see the universe bringing things into your life to help that cycle where you're feeling that great feeling. Again, for me, it was a vibrance and abundance. And you're getting affirmation that these things are coming in your life. You're on the right track. And then that next night, you can go back to, okay, you know what? I did this for one day. I chose the thing or two or three things that would make me feel the best. And I can affirm this night when I look at that list from yesterday, or sorry, that list that I wrote last night for today, I wanted to feel vibrant and abundant. And I said the most satisfying thing I could do today was this and these couple other things. And I did this thing and it felt amazing. And I want to do that again. So maybe this next night, you write again what you want to feel, vibrance and abundance, or joy, or playfulness, or happiness, or whatever it is for you. And you start again that process the night before. You're setting up the cycle. You're setting up, how do I want to feel tomorrow? And you're going to bed with that. You're sleeping with that in your energy on your mind. You're waking up in the morning knowing what you want to do for the day, knowing the direction that the day is going to go. So this is just a great way to keep this cycle going, to stay on track. I love this quote by Stephen Covey, and it says, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. You hear about that in business more often, about keeping your business in focus, and all of that. That's great too. But for me, the main thing to keep the main thing is to be making sure that I'm creating how I want to feel in my life. How is it that I want to feel on a day-to-day basis? Because that main thing will bring all those other things that I want into my existence, and they'll do it for you too. So thanks so much, guys, for being on. I'm just scrolling through the comments quickly. It's hard to sometimes for me to talk and explain and also read the comments. So yes, Jen says, when you're tuned into source, inner being, your feel-good feelings, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. That's true. Things automatically shift and change. Absolutely. It is amazing. Oh, hi, Allison. Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, Josh. Yes, Josh, it's true. If you have a clear and steady goal, it's easier to be productive. Absolutely. And I love setting this up. You don't have to do it the night before. Some people like to do it in the morning, but I really love doing it the night before, again, because I know I'm ready for the next day, and I go to sleep excited about the next day, and then I wake up excited. You know, it's like priming the pump emotionally to move forward towards goals and dreams. So I absolutely love it. Oh, I love, Josh, I also love the gratitude journal. I've been doing that as well. Gratitude, a few things in the morning, and then that night, what made the day great. So that's a fantastic point. I love it. Da, da, da. All right. Yeah, so actually, I'm going to expand on that for just 1 minute more, what Josh said. So there's this productivity planner that I've been working through, where I've been doing these ideas and writing down my feelings and the most important things. There's also a gratitude journal. It's just called the 5-minute journal, which you can find and buy online, or you can just make yourself. So it's in the morning, 3 things that you're grateful for. So it's a great way to start the day. And it's not a massive time commitment either, because sometimes people feel like they have to do so much in the morning, but 3 things that you're grateful for. At the end of the night, you can write down 3 things that made today great. And if you're in this process of flow and feeling good and doing what's satisfying, it's going to be really easy to find those 3 things that made today great. So again, it's continuing that cycle of, I moved forward into what felt good. At the end of the day, I can look back and go, I did the things that felt good, and that feels amazing. And then, you're setting up for the next day over again. So it's continuing that gratitude cycle as well. So doing these 2 things together is really, really, really powerful. So with that, thanks again for being on, guys. You're amazing. Again, my name is Alee Attoe, a coach instructor with Best Life Creation Society. Please feel free, we've got so much great content. If you go on our Facebook page, we have free content every day, whether it's a Facebook Live like this. We've got a ton of great stuff on our YouTube channel. And then we very, very regularly have free classes for non-members, and you can get a ton of content, completely change your energy, your vibration just from those free classes. And then if you're interested in membership, so this is just a small part of what we do. For people who are our Best Life members, we have an ongoing daily mastermind that is incredible. There is nothing like the support and love and connection that comes from being a bestie. And if you're at a place where it feels really good to you, want to learn a lot more about manifesting through your feel-good feelings, learn a whole bunch of different tools on how to continue forward with that, and you want to grow with a group of like-minded people, then definitely check membership out. It's incredible. It's very well worth being a member of Best Life. it can very quickly change your life and help you move towards the things that you want. So with that, you guys are amazing. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're showered with lots of love and blessings today. Be sure to tune into your inner being and get some of that love from source and inner being for yourself too. Okay, until next week, love you guys. Bye for now.